Welcome back. We're here to preview Saturday afternoon's Premier League game between Newcastle United and Arsenal. Matt, we'll start with Arsenal, Champions League against Monaco. They're out of the competition again.
Yeah, it's bittersweet, isn't it? Obviously winning out there, winning away from home in Europe, we all know that's difficult, especially in Monaco. Don't concede a lot of goals and are decent at home, but it's the same old story of Arsenal, isn't it? They've fallen at this stage the last 5 times, and I'll be thinking Spurs, the North London rival Spurs, have been in the quarterfinals more recently than them. So, see, it's this. But you look at the draws they've had recently in the last few years: Bayern Munich, Barcelona, teams like that. They're always going to be the underdogs. But I think if they could have handpicked a draw, with respect to Monaco, it would have been Monaco, wouldn't it? Because they're a decent team, but they're not one of the bigger teams in the competition. There's no getting away with that, and they lost it in the first leg. I don't think they were ever going to. Obviously, they came close last night, but they left themselves a mountain to climb, didn't it? You think you go back to the first leg when they were losing to just to concede a third goal like that was just absolute nonsense, to do that. And they played well last night, on Tuesday. Sorry, they played really well, and obviously got the goals. And Ramsey almost set up his grandstand finish, and Sanchez had a chance late on, didn't he? Where the goalkeeper made a good save. And Monaco were poor; there's no getting away from that. They were very poor in that game. But same old story for Arsenal. There's only so long you can be unlucky for. You have to start winning games at that stage. And it's been the same, like I say, the same old story with the fans, and they're frustrated, but bittersweet. Good win, but out.
I think they can feel a little hard done, but obviously I think Mertesacker after the game, he said the best team went through it. And I'm not sure about that, but he said we lost it in the first leg, and that goal they conceded late on in the first leg to make it 3-1, that was the killer for them. And I think they did okay last night. I think they could have maybe gone for it a bit more, because if Monaco, if they conceded one at the other end, it made no difference. They still had to score 3, so I think they could have maybe gone for it a bit more. But they got the first goal. I think that's when they really should have pushed on. But yeah, they could have almost done it, but it wasn't to be. But it still goes down as another win, and that's 13 wins in the last 15 games in all competitions. They are a side really on form, and obviously the defeat to Monaco was the worst one of the lot. But in the league they're going really well, up to third in the table, and all those wins that happen at the moment. Last time out they hosted West Ham at home. West Ham, they're not in the best form at the moment. They're probably playing the worst they have all season, West Ham, and it was a fairly comfortable 3-0 win for them. Obviously 2 goals coming late on. Giroud with another goal. He's looking great at the moment. Giroud, obviously, the problem is the fans will probably remember that all the misses he had in that first leg against Monaco, but he has been scoring a lot of goals recently, and on the whole at the moment Arsenal do look really good. And obviously at the moment there's outside talk of maybe if Chelsea start to slip up a bit of the title push, but I don't think that's happening. But they are looking really good at the moment.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You mentioned the Chelsea thing about winning the league. I think they're 7 points behind Chelsea, got a game in hand. I don't think that's likely, but certainly finishing second. They're only sitting 1 point off City at the moment. Obviously the race for the top 4 is massive. I think Arsenal will be in there in the race for the top 4. So they always finish in the top 4, certainly over the last however many years. But they're going to have, obviously they're out of the Champions League, but they've got the Cup semi-final, and if they can finish second, I don't think they will finish second. It's obviously a rat race up there, as Louis Van Gaal called it, but they've won the last 5 in the league, only a point off second, so it's going to be a massive end to the season.
Definitely. I think they'll go into this game pretty confident of another win. Newcastle, they're not looking great at the moment, are they? John Carver's side, it's 2 defeats in a row in the Premier League, and last time out against Everton, Everton hadn't won at home for 3 months going into that game, exactly 3 months, and they win 3-0 there. Obviously Newcastle, they had chances. It was I think 3-0 maybe flat as Everton a little bit. Obviously there was the injury time goal from Barkley to put the gloss on it, but they didn't really do enough in that game. Everton, they came through that, and I think Newcastle, they should have maybe just gone for it a bit more in that game, because Everton, they're completely out of form at home, especially in the league. They've looked better in Europe this season than they have in the league, and I think it was a chance to maybe just maybe try a few new things, maybe go for it a bit more, but they didn't really do that, and they sort of allowed Everton to get that first win for 3 months without really doing too much. So I think it was a missed opportunity for them, but they're still looking okay, and obviously John Carver, he needs better results than that if he's going to have any chance of getting the full-time job at the end of the season.
You mentioned Carver. I think after the game he mentioned about a penalty that they should have had when there was a handball on the line, but I think you got problems when Carver seems to have gone down that route recently of blaming referees. I think that's when you're struggling, isn't it, where you're sort of trying to make excuses. Newcastle haven't been great recently, so they're 10 points off the relegation zone. They're lucky they are at the moment, because they're not looking in great form, sitting in 11th, probably going to finish around there, but saying that Crystal Palace are closing in on them, looking good as well. I think teams sort of below them, people like West Brom as well, and looking good. So if Newcastle drop down, I think the fans just aren't happy, are they? Because where are Newcastle going, really? They're not going to finish in the Europa League places. And for a club of Newcastle size, you think about their fan base and the money that they should have, the money that certainly that their owners got, that's for certain. But at home this season, lost 4 times, won 6. There'd been a lot. I think we go back to the game against Manchester United at home a couple of weeks ago. It was during the midweek games, and they were so poor in that game. United had so much of the ball, and United were poor that game, but still managed to win the game because Newcastle just had absolutely nothing in attack and struggling for goals. With Vieira's obviously Cisse's banned at the moment. Jose Perez has been sort of in and out recently, so they've got a lot of problems.
And obviously Perez, he had that sort of like purple patch, didn't he, sort of in the middle of the season, but he's gone off the board obviously with Cisse. He always seemed to come up with a goal, but he's now obviously banned for a while. And yeah, Riviere, he scored a lot of goals in Ligue 1 last year, didn't he? But he's not looking like a Premier League quality player. So there's a lot of areas to address for Newcastle, and this is a really difficult game for them. What's your score prediction?
I fancy Arsenal, yeah. I say Newcastle at home, notoriously they're going to be good, they're going to be strong, got the fans there, but like you say, Arsenal are in great form, and Newcastle aren't. Simple as that, really. So I think Arsenal will win it 2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go for a 2-goal margin as well, but I fancy Newcastle to get on the score sheet, so I'm going to go 3-1. So both going for fairly comfortable Arsenal wins here. Thanks for watching.